excited to be 2-0. It's good to go on the road and win convincingly like we did. I liked our preparation. I liked our effort. I thought our guys did a real nice job of putting in the work last week and then going down there and playing a good game on the road. So that was good. Game this week's anytime you win, the games are big, and this is a big game for us. In regard to Ferris State, all these guys do is win. I think they're right now on a streak of 28 consecutive road wins. They've just been excellent. I think they've only lost 3 regular season games the last 8 years. They're just really something. We don't have a bunch of crossover with them, but you can see it on film. They've got good players, good coaching. You watch some of the guys. That defensive end they had last year's led the Seahawks in sacks in preseason. Just pay attention to that because Pat was there. But good football team, a lot of success. It's going to be a tall order to try to find a way to get a win this weekend.
Questions?
Just looking at Sam and Clifton's performances, how would you evaluate the way they looked on Saturday and the performances that they've had through 2 weeks so far?
I thought they did a good job both first week and last week.
And was there anything in particular with their performances Saturday that you liked that stood out to you?
No, just they played well.
Bobby, Nick's first game this season went pretty well, over 100 yards, 2 touchdowns. Eli rushed for another 2 touchdowns. What's it like to have these 2 guys in your backfield for every game?
Well, I like our backs. I think they're doing a nice job. When you can run the ball, that's not just the running backs. There's guys helping them. But when you're running the ball as successfully as we have, it gives your offense a chance to control the game and open up a lot of things. So, those guys are doing a good job. They're taking care of the football. They're running hard. They're hard to bring down, and hopefully get some more of that.
We've talked a lot about the quarterbacks and the running backs and all that. How about on the defensive side of things, though? What's your evaluation of the way your defense has played these first 2 weeks?
I think we played hard. I think we've tackled really well, which is probably where it all starts on defense.
One guy I wanted to ask you about specifically is Hayden Harris, who you brought in as a transfer out of UCLA. What did you like about him in the recruiting process, and then how has he acclimated to the scheme, the system so far?
Well, he's a smart guy. He's really a strong guy intellectually, academically, and all that. So he's picked up the football piece pretty easily. Playing in our system, I think it was good for him that he was here in the spring. I think that helped him. He's just getting going. I think he'll play better and better through the season.
And Trajan, defensively, how would you evaluate things, especially given the fact that you have a new coordinator? Looks like you guys are doing some different stuff on the back end coverage-wise. How do you guys pick that up? How do you think that part's going?
Thank you for the question. I feel like just Coach Bradford's kind of instilling his direction, his standard, and safety-wise, we kind of have to bring it to the whole defense, being a veteran group back there, and I think we played well. I feel like we left a lot of plays on the field as well, and we'll just continue to improve every week.
Yeah, Bobby, you mentioned just the constant winning by Ferris State. I mean, looking at their head coach's record, I mean, he's in his career, if you count the high school stuff, I mean, he's like 360-40 or something like that. He's won like 85% of his games. When you turn on the film, what about this specific team, though, caters to the success that they've been having?
Well, I mean, there's lots of things that go into winning. It's not just one thing. I mean, I don't watch them practice. I don't watch them train in the off season. I don't sit in their coaches' meetings. But I can tell you that the product they put on the field is awfully good. So they must be doing everything right. You don't win like that just being good at something. They're probably pretty dang good at everything.
Is there anything that stands out particularly in terms of their style or their identity?
No, I think it's really the record. They win. All they do is win. They just win and win and win and win. And they're going to come in here this Saturday and try to win again, and we're going to try not to let them.
Trey John, third play of the game, Trevin gets that one-handed interception, kind of sets the tone for the entire game. You guys end up with 4 turnovers in that one. Just from the defense's perspective, how much did that kind of set it for you guys when he got that pick and you guys just kind of rolled from there?
It turned us up. Every time someone makes a play, it kind of fires up the team and it gets us going. So when Trev made that play, it just turned the whole defense up and set the standard for the whole game.
Did you guys feel any difference between week 1 and week 2, being able to force all those turnovers? Like, what was kind of clicking that you guys were able to be kind of in the right place at the right time and make some plays?
I feel like we had a good week of practice. Our Tuesday practice was better last week than week 1, and each and every practice after that just kept getting better. So we just have to keep stacking those great practices and go translate on Saturdays.
And then Brandon, all 3 of those interceptions turned into touchdowns on the offensive side of the ball. So for you guys, from your perspective, did it fire you up just when you see your defense give you guys extra possession? Just what was your guys' perspective that you guys were able to cash in those takeaways?
Yeah, it absolutely does fire us up. It gives us a little bit of momentum going into the drive, and so to answer your question, yeah, it does fire us up.
And then, Coach, just from your perspective, you talk about the turnover battle a lot and how important it is. So to see the offense take advantage of those extra possessions, just what from your perspective, how cool is that to see those guys get it done?
Well, I think either one of these men would tell you that it's something that's emphasized, and we want to capitalize on the opportunity to get the ball, and then we want to possess it our own selves and not give it away. And so when we can take it away and go down and get points, those are huge momentum plays in the game, and momentum counts. You have to overcome it or you have to keep it, but momentum counts.
Bobby, the last 6 quarters, you guys have run the ball a lot and run it well, but you have some talented wide receivers. How much are you looking to get them involved more going forward?
Well, I mean, we call it the way we call it. So there's one ball. If we throw it every time, you ask me why the running backs aren't getting more carries, so I'm not sure how to answer that.
On the other side, there were some deep passes you mentioned on letting some vertical routes go and getting behind the cornerbacks. How important is that to clean up going forward?
Meaning catching the ball down the field on it, is that what you're asking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to defend the ball down the field, make plays on the ball, not let the receivers catch it.
And then from the defensive end position, I know 4 guys you've been rotating in there mainly. What are you looking for from them production-wise going forward?
What do you mean by production?
Just in terms of how much are you looking at the stats they produce versus something else that maybe doesn't show up on the stat sheet you're looking for them to do?
Stat sheet, I watch the film and watch how they play. I watch their hand placement, their pad level, their execution, whether they ran the call correctly. And so that's what I'm looking for, execution out of everybody on this football team.
How's that been so far for those guys?
I think pretty good. We haven't given up much.
And Ferris State, you looking at their linemen, offensive linemen who started, they're all about 6'4", taller, 300 pounds or more. What kind of stands out to you on film with their offensive line?
They're big and physical. I think they look very strong as well. I think they have a little bit of a nasty streak to them, which I admire. They're a good front. Probably back to what Coulter said, probably don't win all those games without a pretty good front.